Students, while you're student teaching, you will be required to maintain a student teaching calendar so that we have proof that you have met the 70-day regulatory requirement for student teaching. So at the end of each month, you will email myself, but you will email it to me at ekustudentteaching@eku.edu, your cooperating teacher and your clinical educator, a copy of your current student teaching calendar. So you will receive this template in an email, and this is the one that you will continuously, you will keep current. And again, at the end of each month, you will send a copy to myself, the cooperating teacher, and the clinical educator. So as you can see, I have filled in a few things already. That EKU seminar day, that counts as a whole day. Day 1, day 2 seminar in the middle of the semester also counts as a whole day. And then the exit seminar counts as a half day. And then I've also put in the switch weekend for those of you that have 2 placements. So wrap up your first placement on the 28th. And then you would come to day 2 seminar, and then that following Monday, you would start your second placement. So for each day, as you can see, there's a coding that I would like for you to use. So if you are in class, you would mark it with this color and just a 1. So for example, if you were going to go into the classroom on the 9th, you would go ahead and put a 1 in and code that in that color. And if you'll notice at the bottom, it's already totaling it for you. If, for example, you're going to have to miss a day because you're sick, you would see that you would code it in red. And you put absent dash illness. And put that in red. And you wouldn't put a number because you wouldn't be counting that day because you missed. And as you can see at the bottom, it's not going to give you a day. So on the coding, I've already put the seminar days in for you. If you're just in class teaching, or if it's a planning day with your cooperating teacher, you would use the orange in-class coding. If there is weather or maybe district-wide illness, and you end up going virtual or using an NTI day, but you're still, you're still available through Google Classroom or grading or doing something for your cooperating teacher, you would use this yellow virtual/NTI and put a 1 beside it. If you have professional development that is required by your school or district or has been pre-approved by our office, you would use this purple PD and put the number 1 if you attend for attendance that day. If you are doing an emergency sub for your cooperating teacher, you would use this green, put sub and a 1, and so on and so forth. You can count quarter increments. So if you had to leave at the halfway mark for the day because you were sick, go back over here, you could just put 0.5. And as you can see, that brings that tally down. So you can do a 0.25, 0.5, 0.75 for a full day. But again, we need to make sure that you are coding your days so that we can see exactly what you're doing in terms of those days. And then also making sure that you are on pace to hit the 70-day statutory requirements. For those that student teach in the fall, it's a very tight turnaround because many districts don't begin until the middle of August, mid to end of August, and then you're finishing up that last that very last week of November. And so to get 70 days, you really cannot miss a day. So you have to be very cognizant of that. And those of you that student teach in the spring, you have a lot longer because you guys are starting right after New Year's, before EKU even starts 2 weeks later, and then you've got that whole semester. So it's a lot easier for those in the spring. But for those of you in the fall, you really got to be aware that you have to hit the 70 days. Otherwise, as you can see, right now I don't have the exact date for graduation, but tentatively, it probably will be December 1st. And you would have to go, you would still graduate, but you would have to come back following graduation and get those remaining days to hit 70. If you don't get 70 in prior to graduation. So again, keep up with this, have it all coded correctly. Make sure that again, at the end of each month, you are, so for fall, that would be the end of August, September, October, November, that you're sending it to myself at the EKU Student Teaching at EKU.edu. You are also copying your cooperating teacher on it and your clinical educator on it. And for those of you in the spring, that would be sending it to me at the end of January, February, March, April, and potentially maybe, a week or so into May, because I think that's usually when we come in for the semester. If you have any questions, just give me an email at brady.blackburn@eku.edu. You can give me a call. I'm available. You have my contact information, and then we can go through this if you have any questions.